Hello guys, Louis Samar here. Today we are gonna be doing another episode of Spooky Animation Sunday. So y'all really love my last one. 43 views in like 6 days, alright? That's crazy, but let's just get into another video, alright? Alright guys, so our first animator is Wanzi Entertainment, and it is True Otherwise and a horror story animated. Let's get it.
This story takes place in South Africa, my home country. It happened last year during July, right after I turned 18. I had a 3-week holiday before I had to go back to school, and my sister decided to take me and a few friends to KwaZulu-Natal for a trip to a mountain range.
What is that?
It was me, my sister called Kate, and my 3 friends, Ashley, May, and Hannah.
Montana.
The last place we visited before we went to the cold mountain range was called Isandlwana, where the Shaka Zulu army fought Britain with many fatalities.
Dang.
We got to the place at around midnight,
Dang.
since there was no security. So we decided to explore the grounds and look at the thousands of graves placed around the land. It wasn't until after I asked...
Hey guys, I gotta tell you something. So, have y'all guys ever went on like a scary field trip? Have you? Answer my question right now. Oh, I didn't mean to shoot that. Oh, you okay? Yo.
Give it a rest and find a place to stay for the night. That my sister pulled a box out of her bag. It was the infamous Ouija.
What the freak?
We used to believe in the paranormal side of the world.
So, who goes out to a place where a whole bunch of people died and then play the Ouija board? Like, who does that? Who does that? You do that? You crazy.
So all 5 of us decided to play. I mean, it was such a perfect place to do it.
No, it wasn't. Don't
so we sat down by one of the bigger graves and started playing. But the board wasn't really doing anything until my sister lost her temper and took her fingers off.
Why would you do that?
The keys started moving around in short circles before going over the letters and spelling out RUNTHEYAREHERE. Run. They are here.
They are here.
At first, kind of laughing.
No,
we weren't really scared because we'd had a crap ton of alcohol before playing the game and thought it was one of the girls doing it. However, all of a sudden, Ashley stood up, cried out in pain, and she claimed something was stabbing her. Help! Help me! She screamed, so we immediately stopped playing and went to help her. When she lifted up her shirt, we could see a long and deep scratch that went from where her heart is down to her stomach.
Yo!
We were all shocked, so we left the place in a hurry since the nearest clinic was over an hour away. When we arrived, our situation only got worse, considering we were a group of white girls who only knew how to speak English and a bit of Dutch, while everyone inside of the clinic was a Zulu native and didn't know any English. We couldn't get my friend any help, since neither we nor the nurses understood each other until we lifted up my friend's shirt to show them the wound. We felt so stuffy, and eventually one nurse...
Hold on. I'm gonna have to blur this out. But look, right here, all the way down here. Like, bruh. Like, it comes from right here all the way down here. Like, to her belly button. That's crazy, man. That's crazy.
Sterilized her and bandaged her up. However, surprisingly, the next morning when we woke up inside of my sister's van, she was no longer wounded, and it was as if the event didn't even happen. Someone later told us that it might be a Zulu trademark to cut their enemies' hearts from their gut in respect of the body they had killed, preparing them for the afterlife. But who knows? Now, over a year later, none of us truly know what happened. I go to university, and they are still my only friends. The memory becomes more and more distant over time, and I sometimes believe that we all just hallucinated. But the one thing for sure is that I will never, ever touch the Ouija board again.
So, freaking ads. So, every single Ouija board video I see, there's always the white person playing it. Like, no racial, like sucker. But I'm saying this, every single Ouija board video I see, they always have to be white. Like, I don't see, like, they always have to be white. Like, I don't see how any black person will play the Ouija board. I've never seen a black person play the Ouija board. The only time I saw a black person play the Ouija board is when they were with another white guy who wants to play the Ouija board. No racial. Alright, so this next story is not from Monzy Entertainment or Llama Arts, but this is like someone I found. It's called True Asylum Horror Story, animated by Horror Stories. That's his stories. Alright, Horror Shorts Party. True Asylum Horror Story, narrated by Bound in Imaginary.
This happened to me about a year ago. I used to be a janitor for a cleaning agency. I would basically take contract jobs to clean various locations. One day, my cleaning agency gave me a cleaning contract at a psychiatric ward, also known as an asylum. To be honest, I was a bit hesitant to take the job, just because of asylums being haunted, but anyway, because the
my
pay
hair
was
looks
decent.
super tarnished. I just got out the shower.
Later
y'all.
that day, I arrived there. I see a huge old-looking building. To be honest, I was quite creeped out since the asylum was secluded in the middle of nowhere. When I arrive inside, I notice people giving me an uninviting stare. I'm not just talking about the patients, I'm also talking about the employees as well. To be honest, I kept it professional and began to do my job. I remember mopping the hallway and seeing some really bizarre things. I saw some creepy-looking patients that had a disturbing look to them. I don't know, they just looked like the kind of people you would see in one of those Exorcist movies.
Ooh. No! What the
I
freak
remember
was
seeing
that?
this one guy that really gave me the chills. It was a man who looked to be about 7 feet tall.
I can't breathe. Why do you have the man? Why do you have my man's looking like that, bro? First of all, does this man play ball? Because he's bald. His shoulders go to the top of the door. I've never seen anybody that tall that their shoulders reach to the top of the door. But I'm laughing because the way they animated him, like they made him from the freaking kids movies. I'm gonna just keep it right here because he's important now.
He gave me this really disturbing smile, like he wanted to kill me. I can see a nurse instructing him to lay on his bed. He didn't look too happy after that. I also remember seeing a swimming class taking place. Well, not exactly a swimming class, just a bunch of patients in a swimming pool. They were all an exercise ball and mimicking the actions of the instructor. I personally found it unsettling, to say the least. When it was around the end of my shift, I was getting ready to head home. I noticed all the patients' doors were closed, except for one room. I could see someone laying on the floor with their legs halfway across the door.
Dang! That's a
It was
tall
a bit
man.
alarming for one to be laying on the floor like that. I then saw him yanked into the room. That honestly startled the crap out of me. I then noticed a puddle of blood spilling out from the room and onto the hallway. I decided to approach what's going on.
telling me this guy right here sees somebody laying on the floor. Alright, it's an insane asylum, they might go crazy. But this man, as soon as he sees the body getting dragged and sees blood coming out of the room, why would you walk towards it? If that was me, and if I see somebody getting dragged and I see blood coming out of the room, I'm running. I don't care. I don't care about that. I am running. I'm full on sprinting out of that insane asylum because there's no way I'm catching up. There's no way, bro. There's no way. There's no way.
As I peek inside the room,
Oh my
one of the
god.
most disturbing things ever. He was the tall man I saw earlier. He was biting the hell out of one of the nurse's neck. You could see the nurse's eyes gouged out with blood pouring everywhere. I carefully made sure to not scream or make a sound. I got that immediately
That's-
started driving off. I even called the cops while driving. To this day, I'm still traumatized by what I saw that night. I'm not sure exactly what happened to the tall man, but he still gives me the chills just thinking about him.
Oh, so they found him. Yeah, in jail, sucker. How tall is that thing? That was good. That was kind of good, but I still don't understand why he ran up to the room, though. Alright, so our last story for the day is the Dare score. That's it. The Dare Scary Story Animated. So let's just get it popping. By I Am R Scary Tales. So all these links, all these links are gonna be in the description. All right, so y'all can go watch it for yourselves. All right, let's just get into it. Why is it every single video I see, it always have to have that? It's okay.
Subscribe to IMR Scary Tales and watch spine-chilling horror stories almost every day. And don't forget to click on the bell icon.
One night in a small American town, a young girl threw a party and invited all of her friends from school. There was a large group of boys and girls, and as the night went on, they began telling scary stories. One boy said he'd heard an urban legend about an old graveyard that was located near the girl's house. According to the story, an old woman had been buried in the middle of the cemetery, and there were rumors that she was a witch. They said that if someone stood on the grave at night, she would grab them and drag them down into hell. I would never go near that graveyard after dark, another boy said. You're all a bunch of morons, laughed the girl who owned the house. It's just a silly superstition. I can't believe you take it seriously. The boy who had told the story turned to her and sneered. It's all very well to be brave when you're safe and warm in your own house. I think you'd have a different attitude if you actually went down to the graveyard.
No,
It
no.
wouldn't make a difference, replied the girl haughtily. Okay, then prove it, said the boy. We'll all go down to the cemetery and wait outside while you go in and stand.
So I just realized something. In the first story, we got the white girls playing the Ouija board, and one of them, I'm not gonna show my full. One of them got scratched from the heart down. All right. The second story, all right. There was this man. I don't know if he's white, but he probably might be black. This sucker went up to the room where he just saw somebody get dragged and see blood coming out of the room. He went up to the room, and now we got some stupid junk saying they going to a graveyard after they heard this freaking story that if you stand on her grave, on her, I don't even know what to call it, you gonna die.
Witch's grave.
A grave doesn't scare me, said the girl. I'll do it right now. You'll have to prove you really did it, said the boy. Otherwise, you might chicken out. He took a knife from the kitchen drawer and handed it to her. Stick this knife in the grave, he said. Then we'll know you were there for sure. The group of kids set out for the graveyard, and when they reached the old iron gates, they gathered in a circle. All of them stared at the girl. She tried to pretend she wasn't scared, and she hoped that they didn't see her shivering in fear. With the knife clutched tightly in her hand, the girl walked through the old and made her way through the darkened graveyard. In the moonlight, the tombstones and the trees cast strange and unnerving shadows. Eventually, she came to the old woman's grave. There is nothing to be scared of, the girl told herself. It's just a stupid story. Crouching in front of the headstone, she whispered, I'm not afraid of you. Then, she raised the knife above her head and thrust it into the earth. Take that, you old witch, she chuckled. The girl was about to turn and leave when she felt something holding her back. She couldn't move. Something was tugging on the hem of her dress and dragging her down. She was filled with terror and flew into a panic. Help! She cried. She's got me! She's got me! When she didn't come back, her friends began to get worried. After a while, they cautiously entered the graveyard to look for her. They found her sprawled across the old woman's grave. She was dead, and her face was frozen in a silent scream. Without realizing it, she had plunged the knife through the skirt and had pinned herself to the ground. That was what had been holding her. The poor girl had been so terrified that her heart gave in, and she died of fright.
Crazy, man, crazy. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure it's on the end, slide that like button, and I'll see you tomorrow with a new video. Peace.